तो क्या यूपीएससी प्रीलिम्स की कट ऑफ एक्सपेक्टेशंस आपकी रातों की नींद खराब कर रही है? कहीं आप उनमें से तो नहीं जिनका पिछली बारी प्रीलिम्स क्लियर नहीं हुआ था? घबराने की बात नहीं है। स्लीपी क्लासेस आपकी इस मुश्किल को आसान करने वाला है। हम लेके आए हैं संभव प्रीलिम्स क्रैश कोर्स ऑन पॉपुलर डिमांड। दोस्तों, चाहे वो स्टैटिक नॉलेज है या चाहे वो करंट अफेयर्स है, दोनों ही चीजों को कॉम्प्रिहेंसिवली इस क्रैश कोर्स के प्रोग्राम में कवर किया जाएगा, जहां पे डेली लाइव लेक्चर्स रहने वाले हैं। और तो और, अगर आप अपने आप को टेस्ट करना चाहते हैं, कॉन्फिडेंस बूस्ट करना चाहते हैं, तो देर किस बात की, आज ही स्लीपी क्लासेस की प्रीलिम्स टेस्ट सीरीज को ज्वाइन करें। और अगर आपके उसके बावजूद कुछ स्ट्रेटेजिक डाउट्स हैं, कुछ अनकन्वेंशनल डाउट्स हैं, आपको फियर है, एंजाइटी है रिलेटेड टू प्रीलिम्स, तो हम एक प्रीलिम्स का मेंटरशिप प्रोग्राम भी लेके आए हैं। दोस्तों, आइए इस सफर को मुमकिन बनाते हैं और प्रीलिम्स 2024 को क्रैक करते हैं।
Hi everyone, my name is Athar Aamir Khan and you're watching me on Delhi Knowledge Track. DKT has asked me to talk to you about something what we are doing in Srinagar, especially how we are planning and how we are executing the projects under Srinagar Smart City Limited. तो उसके बारे में थोड़ा सा मुझे कहा गया है कि मैं आपके साथ शेयर करूं, आपको बता दूं. So that's what we are going to do. सबसे पहले आई थिंक ऑल ऑफ यू मस्ट बी अवेयर ऑफ द स्मार्ट सिटीज मिशन ऑफ गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया. सो गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया ने का एक मिशन है, स्मार्ट सिटीज मिशन. इट हैज 100 cities are part of this mission. The aim and objective of this mission is to ensure that the upgradation of basic infrastructure, public infrastructure, and IT interventions are done in these cities so that they become smart cities. Now, smart city again is a very wide concept and a very subjective concept. अलग-अलग लोगों की एक अलग-अलग definition होती है smart city की. So, in general understanding, a smart city is something which is sustainable, which works for people, which ensures that economic ability of the city is improved. जहाँ पे लोगों को रहना आसान लगे, जहाँ की बेसिक सुविधाएं लोगों के पास बेहतर तरीके से हों, efficiently उनको डिलीवर की जाएं. इसी तरीके से there should be lot of opportunities and avenues for people to generate income, to generate wealth, to generate employment as well. And there's a very important role of design, there's very important role of planning as well as information technology in making a city smart. तो इसी सिलसिले में श्रीनगर में भी हम लोग श्रीनगर स्मार्ट सिटी लिमिटेड के अंदर जो है इस प्रोजेक्ट को इम्प्लीमेंट कर रहे हैं. सो आई जस्ट टेक यू थ्रू दिस बिट ऑफ अ जर्नी कि हम लोगों ने यहाँ पे हाउ डू वी स्टार्ट विद दिस इनिशिएटिव, विद दिस वर्क हियर. First thing was the team. So Srinagar Smart City Limited is a public sector undertaking. It's a company, it's a public company. जिसको हम कहेंगे it's a government company. It has shareholding of the government. So इस company में what we have done is we have first of all built two broad verticals and columns, verticals in this company. One vertical is what we call as a planning division or a planning wing. Another one is a projects wing. So planning wing has people who are urban designers, who are structural engineers, who are architects, who are planners. Now इनका काम ये होता है कि they design, they plan. Now planning is at different levels. One is it happens at a city level planning कि city में हम किस तरीके से plan करेंगे, how do we do that. And second comes then the micro planning जिसमें हम लोग individual projects को plan करते हैं. So this planning division does this planning work. Then we have the projects division. Projects division is headed by a chief engineer, and there are executive engineers, there are assistant executive engineers, junior engineers part of this projects division. This projects division then finally implements those projects on ground. So they float the tenders, they get these projects executed. वो site में they ensure that जो plan बना है, जो DPRs बने हैं, जो drawings बने हैं, they are implemented on ground. So these are the broad two verticals, and I think the story of Srinagar Smart City begins with creating this good team, both in its planning as well as in its projects or implementation wing. So we invested a lot of attention and time in getting good people, professional people, and competent people who could do this. Then after we had a team in place, then we started working on the broad plan, a city level plan. What are the projects that we want to take? What are the areas that we want to focus on? So इस city level plan में हम लोगों ने broadly 8 एरियाज को केटर किया है, 8 थीम्स को फोकस किया है. फर्स्ट इज व्हाट वी कॉल एज जहलम रिवर फ्रंट डेवलपमेंट एंड वाटर ट्रांसपोर्ट. जैसे आप सबको पता है, एज ऑल ऑफ यू नो, दैट श्रीनगर सिटी इज लोकेटेड ऑन रिवर जहलम. तो रिवर जहलम की वजह से ही शहर वजूद में आया है. तो जो हमारा पुराना सिटी है, दैट इज ऑल्सो लोकेटेड ऑन ईदर साइड ऑफ द रिवर. नाउ रिवर को वापस रिजुविनेट करना, रिवर को वापस फोकस में लाना, सो दैट इट अगेन बिकम्स इम्पोर्टेंट फ्रॉम कमर्शियल पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू, इम्पोर्टेंट फ्रॉम टूरिज्म पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू, एंड इम्पोर्टेंट फ्रॉम पब्लिक or social perspective. So that was the first thing, that we wanted to revive the river. We want to develop Riverfront to a huge extent. We call this place, जिनको श्रीनगर जो लोग आए होंगे, there's a place called Zero Bridge. So Zero Bridge से लेकर छतबल तक का हम लोगों ने रिवर का, जहलम रिवर का पोर्शन लिया, which we are developing as a riverfront. Some portion of it is complete and ready and people are using it. Other portions are being executed right now. So that is the riverfront. इसी रिवर फ्रंट के हमारे दो ब्रॉड हिस्से और बनते हैं. एक हिस्सा है विच इज मोर लाइक एन अप टाउन एरिया, जहाँ पे हमारे पास काफी स्पेस रिवर के दोनों साइड से हैं, जहाँ पब्लिक स्पेसेस बना रहे हैं, एम्पी थिएटर्स बना रहे हैं, चिल्ड्रन प्ले एरियाज बना रहे हैं, कैफेज बना रहे हैं, ताकि लोग ज्यादा से ज्यादा वहां पे आ सकें. और कुछ पोर्शन हमारा डाउन टाउन या ओल्ड सिटी के थ्रू आता है, जहाँ हमारा हेरिटेज बिल्ट अप है दोनों साइड्स में. लेकिन इस ओल्ड हेरिटेज एरिया में, जहलम में, पुराने जमाने में बहुत सारे घाट्स हुआ करते थे. तो इस वाले पोर्शन में, विच इज इन द ओल्ड सिटी, हियर वी आर रिवाइविंग दोज हेरिटेज घाट्स, वी आर इम्प्रूविंग देम, वी आर मेकिंग देम अगेन इंपॉर्टेंट पब्लिक स्पेसेस. इसी के साथ दोनों साइड रिवर के हमारे बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट हेरिटेज स्ट्रक्चर्स हैं, पुराने श्राइन्स हैं, पुराने टेम्पल्स हैं, उनकी भी रेस्टोरेशन हम साथ साथ में कर रहे हैं, ताकि ये ओल्ड सिटी अगेन गेट्स रिकनेक्टेड बैक टू द रिवर. एक जमाना होता था जब श्रीनगर में जो घर होते थे, दे वर रिवर फेसिंग. Then over a period of time they became, they started turning their backs towards the river. Now the idea is we want to rejuvenate the river again, so that people again start putting a premium on the river. So that is one. इसी के साथ में हमारे काफी सारे bridges हैं which are on the river, उनकी improvement भी कर रहे हैं हम लोग throughout. Then इसी जहलम रिवर को we also want to use it as a important means of transport. कि जो हमारा रोड ट्रैफिक होता है, जो कंजेशन जिस तरीके से हर शहर में है, उसको रिड्रेस करने के लिए we are working on one project in which we want to have boats running, ferries running in the river. So it is going to be an electric based water transportation system. बोथ जहलम, इसके साथ में जो हमारा डल लेक है, डल लेक पे भी हम लोग इसमें काम कर रहे हैं. एक दूसरा थीम जो स्मार्ट सिटी का है, उसमें हम लोग, जिसे हम कहते हैं सेंट्रल बिजनेस डिस्ट्रिक्ट अपग्रेडेशन. जो श्रीनगर है, श्रीनगर का काफी सारा जो कमर्शियल एरिया है, दैट इज द एरिया जिसको हम कहते हैं रेजिडेंसी रोड या लाल चौक, पोलो व्यू, एमए रोड, बटमालू, जहांगीर चौक. So this all forms the commercial hub of the Srinagar city. And under this second theme, we are doing the upgradation and redevelopment of this entire central business district of Srinagar. Is upgradation mein, I'll broadly give you one example that applies to other portions as well. For example, Residency Road. So Residency Road is a huge, I would say, is a long road right across the heart of the city. Now, in this entire road, what we are doing is we are laying sewerage lines underneath. We are improving the drainage lines. We're building lateral drainage connections. We're improving our dewatering stations. Then, whatever electricity and communication lines are there, we're putting those. We have largely put those. That project is almost complete. वो हमने सारी इलेक्ट्रिसिटी लाइंस जो हैं या कम्युनिकेशन लाइंस हैं, उन सबको अंडरग्राउंड किया है. फिर जो हमारा मेन रोड है, उस रोड की जो कैरेज है, दैट हैज बीन मेड यूनिफॉर्म. अनफॉर्चुनेटली हमारे अक्सर जो शहरों के रास्ते होते हैं, कहीं पे वो चौड़े होते हैं, कहीं पे सकड़े होते हैं, दे आर नॉट यूनिफॉर्म. And now with this redevelopment, what we are ensuring is that the roads are uniform. Their carriages are uniform. If it's a 2-lane road, it's a 2-lane road throughout. If it's a 4-lane road, it is a 4-lane road throughout. It doesn't happen that it's a 3-lane at some places and 2-lane at other places, because that becomes a major reason for traffic chaos. So that uniform carriages we are ensuring. Along with that, on both sides of the road, we are making a lot of walking spaces, wide walking spaces. These walking spaces have been designed very carefully. Now, design के लिए carefully का मतलब ये हुआ, number one, सबसे पहले जो फुटपाथ या walking space बनी है, this is uninterrupted. It doesn't break suddenly at any place. अगर कहीं प्रॉपर्टी एंट्री है, दैट प्रॉपर्टी एंट्री हैज बीन आल्सो डिजाइन्ड इन सच ए वे दैट द फुटपाथ स्टेज कंटिन्यूअस. सिमिलरली इसमें जो मटेरियल यूज किया गया है दैट इज वॉकिंग फ्रेंडली. दैट इसी तरीके से इनमें टेक्टाइल लाइंस यूज की गई हैं विच गाइड अस स्पेशली एबल्ड. जहाँ पे फुटपाथ पे चढ़ना है या नीचे उतरना है, देयर प्रॉपर रैंप्स टू इट. एंड एवरी फुटपाथ इज ओनली एट a 6 inches height above the main road surface level, so that it is very easy for people to climb, to get down. Similarly, जहाँ जहाँ हमारे crossings होती हैं, junctions होते हैं, they have been properly designed. There are proper pedestrian refuge spaces that are being made, so that walking through the central business district becomes a treat. इसी के साथ हमने एक और चीज जो सीबीडी या सेंट्रल बिजनेस डिस्ट्रिक्ट एरिया में किया है, काफी सारे मार्केट्स को वी हैव क्लोज देम फॉर ट्रैफिक. दे आर बिकमिंग ओनली पेडेस्ट्रियन स्ट्रीट्स. फॉर एग्जांपल पोलो व्यू हमारा एक स्ट्रीट है. दिस इज बीन देयर इज नो ट्रैफिक राइट नाउ. अर्लियर traffic used to move right through it. Now we created alternate road to accommodate the traffic, but this street is now only for pedestrian movement. So आप वहां से चल सकते हैं. You can sit there and you can enjoy there. जो मटेरियल यूज किया गया है, दैट्स द ट्रेडिशनल ड्यूरी स्टोन दैट वी हैव इन कश्मीर. उसको खास तौर पे यूज किया गया है. कॉबल स्टोन को हमने काफी जगहों पे यूज किया है. बैठने के हमारे वहाँ काफी सारे चिनार हैं, उनके अराउंड प्रॉपर ब्रीदिंग स्पेस हैज बीन गिवन टू दोज ट्रीज, सो दैट उनमें रूट कंप्रेशन नहीं हो. और उनके अराउंड फिर बियॉन्ड ए सर्टेन स्पेस, बियॉन्ड ए सर्टेन डिस्टेंस, देयर इज अ सिटिंग space available. Similarly, illumination has been done, lighting has been done to ensure रात में भी अच्छी खासी चहल पहल इन एरियाज में रहे. सो इसी प्रकार से जो लाल चौक है, मेन लाल चौक, तो मेन लाल चौक में भी वी हैव कन्वर्टेड इट इनटू a pedestrian plaza. So it's now space where a lot of people can walk, sit. Now इसमें ग्रेनाइट का यूज हुआ है, ड्यूरी स्टोन का यूज हुआ है. Similarly, the Residency Road and Lal Chowk, its walking spaces have been integrated with other roads. They have been integrated with the Riverfront. They have been integrated with the MA Road. That's how that integrated planning happens. Lal Chowk, we had this historic Gantaghar. It's a very iconic space that we have again redesigned and redeveloped more in line with the heritage and the vernacular architecture of this space. जो हमारा घंटाघर है या लाल चौक है, maybe I'll take a minute here to talk a little bit about how this project was implemented. सबसे पहले जब हम कहीं ब्राउन फील्ड में काम करते हैं, ब्राउन फील्ड का मतलब हुआ जहाँ ऑलरेडी मार्केट होता है, ऑलरेडी बिल्डअप होता है, वहां पे कोई चीज नहीं करना, इट्स वेरी डिफिकल्ट, बिकॉज आपको कुछ डिसमेंटल करना होता है, लेवल्स आप मैच नहीं कर पाते हो. कहीं पुराना कुछ इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर अंडरलेइंग होता है, उसको आपको इंटीग्रेट करना पड़ता है. That all you have to do. Similarly in Lal Chowk, it's because commercial area है, वहाँ कहीं दिन में बहुत गाड़ियां चलती थी, बहुत लोग चलते थे. Given within that constraints, we had to work. So that's why it was very challenging. But उसके बाद भी I would say that the efficiency lies in the design. जिस तरीके से पूरे एरिया को डिजाइन किया गया था और जिस तरीके से इसके काम को फिर शेड्यूल किया गया था. That first of all what we did was we completed the road or the carriage portion. So जब तक रोड का काम चल रहा था या कैरियज का काम चल रहा था, तब तक हमने एक डाइवर्शन सेपरेट बनाया था जहां से ट्रैफिक मूव करता था. So once the road was complete, we allowed the traffic through that road portion. Then we started work on the main plaza portion. So plaza में then, because we had to take time on that, build infrastructure there. There was a lot of work. जो कारीगर का काम बहुत ज्यादा था उसमें, that we had to do. That was done parallelly. जो हमारे चाहे घंटाघर था या जो हमारा क्लॉक टावर था, उस पर भी वो काम पैरेलली किया गया. घंटाघर में द डिजाइन इज मोर लाइक, जैसे मैंने अभी भी कहा, इट्स मोर सिमिलर टू आवर हिस्टोरिक स्ट्रक्चर्स दैट वी हैव इन द सिटी. इसमें महाराजी ब्रिक का यूज किया गया. महाराजी ब्रिक इज व्हाट वाज ट्रेडिशनली यूज्ड इन कश्मीर. और उसमें जो नीचे बेस है, इट्स अ ड्यूरी स्टोन बेस. सिमिलरली उसके जो आर्चेस हैं, आर्चेस के ऊपर देयर खत्मबंद किया गया है. खत्मबंद हमारे यहाँ ट्रेडिशनल रूफ वर्क होता है. Similarly, जो उसका जाली है, that jali is again inspired by lot of our historical structures in the city, both temples, some of them shrines, some of the Buddhist pagoda. Similarly, if you see the roof of this, roof is one of the most iconic, I would say, roofs that the Gantaghar has. This used to be earlier inspired by the Buddhist pagodas. That was later on, that design got included in the lot of temples. Finally, it also got included in the shrines. So this became I would say, a symbol of that continuity in that syncretic, I would say, heritage that we have. Similarly, on top of the spire, we have the mast which which holds a national flag on top of it. So इसी तरीके से जो हमारा plaza है, that plaza has been properly made in such a way it has been demarcated well from the traffic movement. There are bollards which we call as sitting bollards जो separate करते हैं main traffic movement area को than the pedestrian space. I would say maybe once you come here or you see the pictures, you would actually love it the way it has been designed. So similarly, now there are no electric wires. All the electricity and everything that has been put underground. जो illumination है, जो lighting है, that has been done adequately. There are high mast lights, there are low mast lights that are illuminating the entire area. Now, इसी पैटर्न में from the Gantagar, from Lal Chowk area, the work now continues on Amira Kadal. It is now going to encompass a Hari Singh High Street area, and then Batamalu area is another very important area in Srinagar city that is being redeveloped right now. So जो हमारे रोड्स हैं, रोड्स को हमने कंप्लीट स्ट्रीट डिजाइन के प्रिंसिपल्स पे डिजाइन किया है, जिसमें there's a proper uniform carriage, then there's a multi-utility zone which hosts the electricity lights, which holds the lights, dustbins, etc. Then there's a dedicated cycle track, and then there's a dedicated and continuous walking space that is again been done. उस पैटर्न पे हम लोगों ने अक्सर रोड्स को डिजाइन किया है. जो हमारा फिर डल लेक का एरिया है, that Dal Lake is again a jewel in Srinagar city. So इस डल लेक के पूरे लेक फ्रंट को हम लोग डेवलप कर रहे हैं. Again the focus is on pedestrianization. डल गेट से लेकर निषाद गार्डन तक we have made a new right walkway. निषाद से पहले right across the Dal Lake there used to be a little kind of a road. It is called a Nishad Sattu. That is being converted into a cycling and a walking track of around 2.5 kilometers. Nishad Garden के सामने का पूरा space is being redesigned as a Nishad precinct so that there is proper space for vehicles to move, people to board and deboard, cars for parking, and for pedestrians to move. इसी तरीके से निषाद गार्डन से लेकर जो हमारा हजरत बल हब्बक की तरफ है, वहां पे we are making a new lakefront. So we used to have hardly 1.5 feet space for walking on that northern foreshore, northern part of the Dal Lake. Now that lakefront it's been converted into a lakefront which is around 18 feet wide. So from Nishad to Habbak, it's around 5 kilometers, more than 5 kilometers. That's a new lakefront that is coming up in the city. Similarly, there's a canal which connects Shalimar Garden with the Dal Lake called the Shalimar Canal. That Shalimar Canal again we are redeveloping. It's going to be one of the amazing and beautiful public spaces that people can come to. Similarly, we have the old city, the Sharikas area. That again we are developing. What we have done is there are two major roads which enter into this old city. One we call Dalgate Gojwara Road, another is called Nalema Road. Both the roads we are redeveloping and redesigning. They reach into our core, or the core part of our old city. In the old city, which includes our Nohata area, Jame Masjid area, Malarata, Bohri Kadal. Maybe a lot of you will not be familiar with the names, but just for the sake of completion. Similarly, we have some historic markets like Maharajganj Market, Bohri Kadal, Zehna Kadal markets. All those areas are being redeveloped. What we are doing is we have divided these areas into these lanes, or I would say these streets, into three types. One is a pedestrian-only streets where no vehicles are permitted. Then there are some which are more like shared streets, which does not allow bigger vehicles, but some lighter vehicles could be allowed. But mostly it is going to be pedestrian dominance. It's going to be more pedestrian priority areas, but some vehicles could also be allowed. And then there are main roads which are for both vehicular movement as well as for proper walking spaces. So on those three lines we have developed. We're again putting a lot of electricity lines underground in this old city, building sewerage infrastructure, building the drainage infrastructure. And then along with that, again, the streetscape is being improved. Walking streets, cobble streets, theory streets are being developed. Similarly, the facade and the structure of the buildings around, that's being improved. We have this uniform, old facade, we call it the Diwari facade. That is being replicated in the old city so that it gives that sense of uniformity. And besides, there are a number of old structures, their conservation, their improvement, that is also being done. So that, whenever anybody comes to the old city, this core area again relives the way it used to be once upon a time. When we are implementing these projects, say in a place like Old City, you need a lot of convergence. A lot of departments have to come together. Power department has to come together because they are the power suppliers, utility providers there, water supply is there, road works are there. Similarly, you may need municipal corporation role in terms of its regulations. So it's n number of departments which have to come together when these projects are implemented. And under this project, we ensure that the convergence happens. There is team building. Similarly, the people in any place, whenever work happens, they are the most important stakeholders, whether it is the people or the markets or the market association. They have to be taken on board. They have a lot of concerns. Sometimes when work is going on, their business gets affected. And, there are a lot of apprehensions. How is this going to come up? And when implementation happens again, sometimes there are disputes, sometimes there are other issues they have to be dealt with. But what we realize is that they're the important stakeholders. They have to be kept along, and they have to take up the ownership. That is ownership of these projects. They become your strength. And I have seen that whether it is Polo View, whether it is Lal Chowk, whether it is a riverfront, whether it is a lakefront, in most of these areas, the role that has been played by local community, the role that has been played by the local market associations is incredible. So they have stood with us, they have stood by us throughout, and we have also ensured whenever there's a grievance, which is a genuine, it is always redressed. And my personal sense is that the local community becomes your quality control. They're there round the clock. If a contractor tries to cut a corner, or if he tries to use a substandard material anywhere, तो वो जो है जो local community होती है वो immediately उसको पकड़ लेती है, उसको immediately देख लेती है. But we have to be open. हम लोग कोशिश करते हैं कि साथ मिलके ही ये projects करें. Otherwise, it is literally impossible local community के support के बगैर इन projects को complete करना. Heritage projects में भी complete किया है. हमारे जो बाकी ग्रीन श्रीनगर के प्रोजेक्ट्स हैं, सॉलिड वेस्ट मैनेजमेंट के प्रोजेक्ट्स हैं, आईटी प्रोजेक्ट्स खास तौर पे. फॉर एग्जांपल हमारे यहाँ एक इंटीग्रेटेड कमांड एंड कंट्रोल सेंटर जो हमने श्रीनगर में बनाया है, विच इज वन ऑफ द लार्जेस्ट इंटीग्रेटेड कमांड एंड कंट्रोल सेंटर्स. इट हैज इट्स ओन डेटा सेंटर. वी हैव अ नेटवर्क ऑपरेशन सेंटर, मल्टी कम्युनिकेशन सेंटर वो बनाया गया है. दिस ICCC acts as the nerve or a brain of the entire IT operation. Then we have one more project called Srinagar Data Network, जिसमें हमने पूरे शहर में लगभग 175 किलोमीटर का फाइबर ऑप्टिक नेटवर्क ले किया है, जो हमारे अलग अलग चाहे रोड की सिग्नल्स हैं, चाहे कैमराज हैं, चाहे फायर इमरजेंसी सर्विस के स्टेशन हैं, चाहे वो हमारे इरिगेशन फ्लड कंट्रोल के सेंसर्स हैं, उन सबको इंटीग्रेट करता है. क्रिटिकल इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर को इसी पे एम्बेड किया गया है, इसी श्रीनगर डेटा नेटवर्क पे. ये फाइनली टर्मिनेट होता है हमारी ICCC के साथ में. देन वी हैव अदर IT प्रोजेक्ट जिसमें इंटेलिजेंट ट्रैफिक मैनेजमेंट सिस्टम, जिसमें हम लोग रेड लाइट वायलेशन, ट्रैफिक वायलेशन को डिटेक्ट करते हैं, ई चालान कर पाते हैं, या हमारे पूरे शहर में वेरिएबल मैसेजिंग डिस्प्लेज VMDs लगाए गए हैं. वो सब इस तरीके की भी जो बाकी IT प्रोजेक्ट्स हैं, दे गेट एम्बेडेड ऑन इट. वी हैव क्रिएटेड वन सिटीज ऐप, इट्स कॉल्ड माई श्रीनगर ऐप, जिसमें सारे डिपार्टमेंट्स के सर्विसेज को इंटीग्रेट किया गया है कि एक ही जगह पे आपको सब सर्विसेज मिल जाए, अलग अलग आपको पोर्टल ढूंढने की जरूरत नहीं है. So this is again, IT is crucial. I would say multiplier in this entire thing. और जहाँ तक completion का सवाल है, it's very important. अक्सर हमारे यहाँ होता था कि काम शुरू होता था, कभी खत्म नहीं होता था. But in all these projects, what we have ensured is that there's a double work happens in double shifts. रात में भी काम हो, which was unheard of in this place. सिमिलरली हमारे यहाँ विंटर काफी महीने रहता, तो विंटर में कोई काम नहीं होता था. बट वी हैव एंश्योर्ड कि प्रायोरिटाइज इस तरीके से किया है. काफी सारे काम है विच आर नॉट affected, which don't get affected by low temperature. Those works could get continued. They get continued in the winter also. So that's why within a very short period of time, we have been able to complete around 70 of our projects. There are another around 55 of the projects which are under execution and are going to be completed soon. So we ensure we have a strong monitoring mechanism. There is a daily visits. There are daily progress reports of every site. There's a third party monitoring that is done to ensure that these works are completed timely. किसी भी शहर में, when we are talking about development of any city or transformation of any city, I would say that Srinagar is becoming a model on two counts. वन इज अर्बन डिजाइन. हम लोग अक्सर जहाँ जिस तरीके के यूरोप में हम लोग स्ट्रीट्स देखते हैं, या जिस तरीके से हम लोग स्कैंडिनेवियन कंट्रीज या बाकी जगहों पे हम लोग देखते हैं वॉकिंग स्ट्रीट्स, या जिस तरीके का जो है ट्रैफिक मूवमेंट या रोड डेवलपमेंट या जो है पब्लिक प्लेस डिजाइन देखते हैं, आई वुड से इट इज द वर्क दैट इज बीइंग डन हियर इज नो लेस देन दैट. So urban design के case में Srinagar has become a kind of a model for a lot of cities. There are a lot of people coming to this to our cities to study how these have been done. A lot of case studies have been made also on various of our projects of how they are being implemented. So one is that urban design is something which has become our strength. ऐसा नहीं है कि रोड ऐसे बनाया है जैसे हमेशा की तरह बनता था, कहीं फुटपाथ बनाया तो चलने के लायक नहीं है, रोड बनाया तो उसके वो गाड़ियों के मूवमेंट को स्मूथ करने की जगह उसको खराब कर देता है. So that's one. I would say that is our biggest strength. Second is pedestrianization. पूरे मुझे लगता है जितनी भी cities across the globe they face one of the biggest challenge, that's the traffic congestion. कि ट्रैफिक गाड़ियां बढ़ती हैं. Now no city can keep up with the pace with which at which the number of vehicles are increasing. So जिस भी city में जो है you have seen so many European cities and others where you see that highways have been closed and they have converted them into pedestrian spaces. Now, pedestrianization and non-motorized transport is one of the ways of addressing this. कि लोगों को ज़्यादा से गाड़ी की ज़रूरत कम पड़े. They are able to walk. City becomes walkable. City becomes pedestrian friendly. Similarly, a short distance, so people are able to cycle those short distances. That is one of the most sustainable ways of decongesting a city. This is not ये हमारा कोई concept नहीं है. This is well known, this is a well accepted fact across the globe that pedestrianization and non-motorized transport, non-motorized NMT infrastructure helps in increasing the sustainability of the cities and also in reducing the congestion in the cities. मुझे लगता है Srinagar is again becoming a front runner when it comes to non-motorized transport. Around 80 kilometers of NMT infrastructure is being built in the city right now. Second is public transport again. We hardly had any kind of a public transport here. We are starting an electric bus system, just like London bus. We call it a Srinagar bus. So इस तरीके का electric bus system हम लोग यहाँ शुरू कर रहे हैं. That's going to cater to all our routes. We again want people to come and board the buses, come into public buses rather than go into individual cars. So one is urban design, second is the pedestrianization, third is the public transport. That's something which we have heavily invested in. Fourth important part is integrated planning. अक्सर शहरों में क्या होता है, जब भी चाहे स्मार्ट सिटी मिशन के अंदर हो या दूसरे किसी मिशन के अंदर हो, there is a strong tendency that projects get done in silos. But in case of Srinagar city, what we have done is every project, all the areas, have been done in an integrated way. Riverfront is integrated with the Residency Road in Lal Chowk. That is integrated with MA Road. That is integrated with Battamalu, and that is integrated with Dal. Now the central business district gets integrated with the old city. This all has been done in a way that there's a multiplier effect. तो वो integration और integrated planning के हिसाब से भी I would say that Srinagar is one of the models. That is why जब भी इस समय अगर कोई 6 महीने बाद या 1 साल बाद इस समय कोई श्रीनगर आता है, he is able to write from the airport when he gets down at the airport. He is able to understand that complete integrated change. कि जिस भी एरिया से वो जाता है, there's a roads are interconnected in such a way that traffic flow gets smoothened. Similarly, the walking spaces are integrated so that they are not interrupted, they are not isolated. Cycling spaces are integrated so that they are again continuous, they are not interrupted. Similarly, whether it is a tourist flow, public spaces, you find public spaces at every, I would say, appropriate in every short distance. So you start from one place, you walk around a bit, then you can again come to another place where you can come and enjoy as public. So there's a lot of work going on at the moment, a lot of work we have completed, but my sense is that once this work is complete, the city is going to look phenomenal. It's going to public again, people are going to enjoy it. There's a huge positive response we are getting. People are really enjoying, whether it is Lal Chowk, whether it is Polo View, whether it is the Riverfront, whether it is Dal Lake, whether it is TRC area, whether it is our Arts Emporium area, whether it is the airport area and the other areas where work is going on. Once the work has been completed, people have really started owning them up. People have really started enjoying and celebrating them.